Hey, hi John.
Hey,
Good
Terry.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Let's take off the mask here. God, nice to see the spring coming back.
It is. Nice to see
Whoa.
nice to see some grass as opposed to snow.
Well, I'm really pleased to be here today to, do a little something, tell the guys what's going on. I like that.
Nice to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Mhm.
So, just to clarify, Martello recently completed a round of funding, and I was very pleased. What key aspect of that was these are people who intimately know Martello.
Well, including me.
I was going to say, and you are one of those. So I thought that's a great opportunity to bring you in and have a discussion about what you see in Martello, but also what you see a bit in the IT industry as well. But I thought one of the first questions was, because you were at the start of Martello,
Right.
where did the name come from? Where
Well,
was
actually, this is John. This is really good. When I thought about it, there had to be a technology in the world to take a look as the Martello Towers did. I'm going back more than 200 years ago when ports, docks, economies, shipping had to be seen, protected, and so on from enemies and from problems. So guess what? Martello Towers were built with 360 degree of ports, which not only allowed observation, but this is the interesting thing, outside on the water. Now, that might have been a little island, it might have been rocks close to the surface. They built it like a little bit like a barrel, because if somebody attacked, if it was hit with a cannonball, it wouldn't get damaged. And the other thing, remember, because it's a building on either a little island or set of rocks, it's not moving. Whereas an enemy coming in, of course, they'd be on the water, and you're not on the water, you're solid. You could actually look at an enemy, establish as an enemy, fire, did it miss slightly, move it up a couple of degrees and clean it out. So it always provided that kind of solid position for the economy, for ports, for shipping, clunk, 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 clunk. And of course it went on, they never lost one. Can you believe it? So I always liked that 360 degree view. And Martello today, like that is the thing, as the company grows, what's going on in the world of equipment that provides networking, provides, as an example, like the Mitel arrangement, work very, very well to maintain high quality communications. Now the company just morphed into yet another area. Guess what? The world of Microsoft. Now, I like that, and anyone, I mean, we can all relate. Microsoft continues to grow. It's a global brand, like Mitel is a global brand. But it's taking the company down a path that I always wanted. Maintaining high quality services. Doing all the investigation, whether it's an actual user or a robot to test. But continuously checking. That's exactly what the company's about. And hey, I like that.
And I think the other interesting thing which you said is it's the Martello Towers were outside the central position.
Yeah.
And as we see now, this work from anywhere idea, right? That people can work, they can be in the office, they can be from home, they can be at, simultaneously, during the day. They could.
Well, John, we both
forward,
know
backwards,
it's
forwards.
become much more complicated.
Right.
Networks are more complicated because you've got to get at people wherever they are. They have to get at people wherever they are. It's really complicated, the global network. So more than ever, there's an important part, which is, what do we call it? Digital experience monitoring, and moving towards ever more digital experience management. Now, I know that's a little bit of a jump, but I don't want to leave that out of our discussion with the people listening either.
Not at all. And I think as we see this work from anywhere transition, it becomes so important to understand how is that user, how is their experience with the products that a CIO and IT team have bought for them.
Yeah.
And that's where we see ourselves going, is really pushing down their advanced network path analysis, the real user monitoring, all these things that really bring, as you said, it's a much more complicated environment with cloud, hybrid cloud, bringing that picture in so an IT team can really understand. And the extension of that is, so a CEO can say, am I getting the value for the software as a service, the products that I have bought to deliver that business productivity?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally relate. So I think it was really good progress to concentrate on Mitel in particular and other service providers that offer Mitel product. And then on top of that, moving down to Microsoft, but it won't stop there. Because the next generation of 5G services, 5G solutions, opens up an incredibly big field of doing such things with some of the winners in this next generation. I really like what we're doing.
I think so too, and I think, again, you and I have had multiple discussions with some big telcos, big enterprise customers that say we need to understand this environment we're pushing out to. Can Martello help? And the answer is yes. We can bring that picture together for you. And as you look at sort of these service level agreements that you give to your customers, can you turn that into an experience level agreement? Yeah. Can you bring the value chain up from your reporting to say, we don't care whether the server's on or off. We care what the user's experience is with that ongoing cloud environment. And I think that's where we'll see our successes.
Well, let's go down the track a little bit, John. Speak a little bit. First of all, the company continues to grow clients. I mean, obviously, that's a serious part of anything. Doing very well in the world of Microsoft, in the world of Mitel. Hey, that's what we decided to do and expand. So in this coronavirus environment that we're all in, people working from home has actually expanded the need for the Martello product line.
Absolutely. And
the Martello technology. So of course, I feel really good about that. Now, if you don't mind, many of the team members will be watching this. Many of our people working at home. What is this doing for morale and things like that? I mean, I know this was not on our original subject matter to talk about, but to me it's important to talk about how is the team doing?
So I think that's really, as you said, important, and what we're really working on is the social fabric of Martello, right? We stay connected. Because what do people miss? They miss that human interaction. Yeah. The ability to meet at the coffee spot, right? Say, how's going on? What was last night like? Did you watch the game? Did you watch the show? What did you see? That human interaction. We're all missing those small micro interactions. It's, we see each other in 2D. The other challenge is we haven't met half these people in person. Yeah. We talked about the GSX acquisition. We acquired a company headquartered in Switzerland, R&D in Nice, and we haven't had a chance to visit yet. Right, because we can't get on these planes and do the visits. So, despite that, we've done amazingly well. Despite the challenges of COVID in integrating another company, we've done amazing things. We're seeing integration. We're seeing new product delivery coming out from coordinating these teams together. And we still haven't met in person. So I think that's key to this. So I think there's always work to be done, and looking after these folks who are working incredibly hard from home, but also managing them, saying to them, if you're having a tough day, take the break. Right? If today is not going well at home, because the other thing is, it's hard to look at the pressures. There's some people with grown-up children who've left the house. Other people, I was on a call with some of the team on Wednesday. Of the call, 3 of them have daughters under 2, right? At home, they're juggling the pressure. I know there's a gentleman here working in, he's actually in the office today. He's got 3 children, they're schooling from home. So these are extra pressures that are being put on the team that they have to juggle.
Now, you didn't acquire GSX just because I like going to Nice, like going to France, and I have relationships right across the spectrum, all over France and Switzerland. You didn't just acquire them for that, did you, John? But by the way, I mean, if anybody was to feel good about it, I'd feel good about it. God, I have so many relationships in France, in Europe generally, so I feel very good about that, I must tell you.
It's good, and I think that's the other nice thing about this recent round of funding is one of the primary shareholder of GSX has come back in again. He said, you're doing what you said you would do. When you came to me and said, I would like to acquire GSX from you, We gave him the story of this is what it's going to look like if we put these two things together. And he said, you're doing what you said you would, I'm in again. So that was, again, pleasing part, see that part of reinforcement.
Okay, so I've got good news for you. I do have lots of friends in France, and I have lots of friends in Nice, and they speak highly of what we did. And the other thing is, we don't often talk about the subject, but I talk to people in our R&D group in Nice, and they are really enjoying part of being more global and part of something which is growing rapidly, called that Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams. I mean, it's really, they're really growing.
Well, that Teams is really interesting if you look at, and you mentioned our Mitel background. So we've got literally years of development working, to put this product together, MPA for Mitel.
Yeah.
Performance
analytics.
Absolutely.
Performance analytics.
Which was digital experience monitoring before it was called digital experience monitoring.
Right.
We were there before it was called what it is now.
Yeah.
What is interesting now is being able to take that expertise, whether it's the cloud-based multi-tenancy, whether it's the network path work, to bring that into that Microsoft side. Right? That's given us a leg up straight into that space. And at times it feels, it feels now in the company, it feels like the steam is building, right? It's like the steam engine. We're moving down the track, but the pressure, our capabilities, our product lines is just building and building and building. And at some point, the engine just goes because the pressure's built such a stage. And that's where we feel, or I feel, the company is at the moment. Now,
most people won't realize that if you look up the history of Mitel and VMware, so you say, well, why am I bringing that subject up? Because most people don't realize that the cloud was not really for real-time communications. Not originally. It was like a computer center. Oh, but now people use Zoom and use Microsoft Teams and other things which, just a second, they are real-time. That technology framework was Mitel. This is a huge piece part. The cloud actually running unified communications in the cloud. Well, I'm damned. Isn't that convenient? So we began Martello working with the company that actually created the framework for real time. And so we got used to that. I mean, we both know this. The company got used to real-time communications in the cloud. And now we work with Microsoft, Teams included. Oh, well, it had better be real-time. And by the way, if it's not, Microsoft has problems. So back to the performance, the quality of that network. So we are absolutely right on track here. So just want you to know that history and the growth of Martello from scratch always went down this direction.
Absolutely. And I think we're in a really good place to exploit that base, right? That knowledge base to bring forward. And if I look at things like our IQ product that brings all together, whether it's a VMware installation, whether it's Azure, whether it's Mitel, whether it's Teams, Office 365, all that brought together in one picture is a very exciting proposition. And even yesterday, we had a Mitel partner say, that's what I need. Get me a demonstration, get that. I want a proof of concept of that tomorrow. And we're working on that right now. So those are great because we've got that base.
Yeah, I like it. Performance, the company's team continues to perform well. I mean, I do spend time with team members, right? So, what can I say? Well, I mean, congratulations. We're going down a great track. And I really like the team that we've got here. It is good, going down the right track at the right time. I often explain to people, timing in life is almost everything. Almost everything, but the team's performing. So.
It is. Thanks, Terry, and appreciate you coming in to talk to us today. So I think it was great having Terry in the office and hearing from him what he sees as the opportunities for Martello and the growth in front of us. What I'd like to do now is go into the chat, put some questions in there, and I will respond, and we can get a bit of Q&A going in response to what you've heard in the video. Thank you for your time today in watching this.